Let's do this. I'm on my lunch break and I don't have a whole lot of time, so we're gonna bang it out. It's Wanna Listen Wednesday. That's what it is. What's Wanna Listen Wednesday? If you don't know, I don't know either. But I do it every Wednesday and I don't know what it is. So it's gotta be good. Super duper. Soup dupe. Okay, so this is Desperacitos. I don't know. The album is Read Music, Speak Spanish, and I barely read music, don't speak Spanish at all, hence the butchering of that name. Desperacitos. Is that better? I think so. They recorded all of this in 1 week, and that week was in 2001 in September. I think the second week in September. That makes it September 11th, the week that they were recording it. They're recording an album that is criticizing America for its, consumerism and materialism while they are being under attack. Nobody liked it. Critics hated it. I think Pitchfork gave it a 4.5 out of 10. But that doesn't mean it's not good. One thing that they do really well on this album is album flow, and I think that's lost on a lot of younger artists, or even current artists that are older. They forget about the album flow because it's for Spotify plays on that single that they're wanting to, put out there. But I'm more interested in the, give me a journey. That's why I like albums. And that's what Wanna Listen Wednesday is about albums, complete albums that make sense. That's what it is. Figured it out. Look at us. It's like 6:45 in the morning. We're sitting in a parking lot. Track 1, Man and Wife, the Former. Really, really fuzzed out guitar, and then there's Weezer-like solos in there, and a Weezer-like solo is very melodic and singable, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That could be a Weezer solo, and it might be. I was searching for a Weezer solo in my brain, and that came out, so maybe it is. But all in all, this song, it's super duper, super duper, soup dupe. It's just such a sad depiction of the American life. Next song is Men. I don't know how to pronounce an Inye. Is it Nunez? That has an Inye on it. So this would be I don't know. Tomorrow. I love the energy of this song. I don't really understand why it's cool to scream the count in. Distorted guitar, distorted drums, distorted vocals. It's there, it's going, it's doing, it's all distorted all the time, baby. You can just hear the amount of spit, the copious amounts of spit that's flying onto the studio mic as he's just... Maybe you can't, maybe I'm just reading into it. Greater Omaha. If you listen really closely, you can hear this you remember whenever you used to go into the malls, because nobody does anymore, and there was this music playing. It was it was slightly elevated elevator music. And more like escalator music, right? High five. It's interesting betting. It's like this little nugget. He's doing something. He's doing something there. He's doing a little something there. So he's talking about like corporations and stuff like that. And he says they'll be feeding us. They'll be feeding on us. Wow, I'm 14 and that's deep. I don't know that I disagree with necessarily. I mean, corporations do get bigger and bigger, and we don't really see a whole lot of profit from that, other than we got all you can eat buffets. Next song, Man and Wife, The Ladder. The sad American dream continued. On an endless escalator, we just go up and up, but we never reach the top. Jeez. We're the best at materialism. A lot of the songs on this album, they kind of start with the guitar that you're like, oh, is this gonna be shoegazy? And then it goes into like angsty emo. At the end of the song, I really dig the breakdown. There's like a wah, 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 wah. I don't know if that's this song, but it's a song that's in my head right now. Okay, Mall of America. This one's the banger. The Mall of America, I've been there, and it is not as good as this song. Next song, The Happiest Place on Earth. Shots fired at Disney. More Weezer-like solos, just over the top of Connor's distaste for the way that America does business and politics and war. Next song is Survival of the Fittest. It's the jungle out there. They recorded it in a week, which adds to like the angst and the immediacy and like the need to move on this album. And away we go. Billy on the street. Billy on the street. He's making dreams come true. Billy on the street. Why? There's this little, there's like twin guitars, and they're both kind of like taking turns, like going back and forth. And it reminds me of something that like Rilo Kiley would do. Do you guys know what he's saying? I don't. The whole song, it just seems like chaos. Like they started it, but they never really figured out where things go, or where so-and-so should come in or leave, or when to end it, or it just seems like absolute chaos, which I love. Okay, this one's a bunch of cash signs. I don't know if it's the fact that I spent a lot of time as a kid in front of late night TV, but all of those like infomercials that are playing at the, beginning and the middle and the end kind of stuff is like, it's so comforting. It's so nostalgic and comforting at the same time that I'm just like, I like this. And that probably makes me weird. This one's about free market and making factories that, underpay their employees, and then you walk all over them and make money off their back. Here's the last one. It's Hole in One. I really love the bombastic drums with the squealing guitars. It's chaos again. But then there is, Connor does something interesting. He takes his stick, the thing that he's pointing at all these, corporate fat cats and, whatever. And he turns it back around on the people that are probably listening and like saying, yeah, get those guys. Consumerism and materialism doesn't have to manifest itself in cars or shopping bags or things like that. But it can materialize itself as going to parties and taking a lot of drugs. If you like this, you can subscribe to it if you want. I also, every week, I don't just talk about it, but I make a playlist on Spotify and on Tidal that will update automatically. Not automatically because I do it, but you won't have to do anything. You just hit I like this or whatever the button is, follow it, and then it will pop up in your music streaming thing, and you can do that. And the links are down below. Good night or day, morning.